Hey guys, your crazy coach lady Amanda Trombley, and today we're going to be taking some time to chat about all of the ways to make ourselves secure in our own body, sense of mind, and soul once again when we're dealing with some sort of crisis or any sort of chaos in our lives. So this is the next step to our chaos course correction. And I want to take this video in a little bit different direction because I feel like what we need not right now isn't only tools to get through things, but the specific things themselves, not just a bunch of information to get us to where we need to go, but we need the actual message itself, the actual tool itself, the actual thing itself to take us to the next level. So in this period of time, we are experiencing so much craziness and so much newness in our life. And I think that one thing that we're all feeling, but we're not really talking about, is what this has actually done to our relationship with ourselves. Now, we obviously know that the majority of us are feeling some sort of fear or anxiety, or really beginning to feel the heaviness and the weight of that depression and isolation is causing us. But there's something really specific that happens here when we're feeling all of these feelings, and that is the sense of security within our own self. Especially in a time where the world around us is not very secure and is a little on edge, when we add in our own fears that we're experiencing, we really lose out on experiencing that best relationship with ourselves possible. The more anxious we get, the more we tune out of the way that we are feeling and try and block it out or numb it out or move through it, the more depression or the weight on the shoulders that is on us, the more we get disconnected to who we truly are. And so what you see a lot of times in a lot of my videos is that I truly believe that there is a mind, body, and soul connection, and to live freely, to unleash emotional freedom, to really live in a state of mental wealth, we have to have this Trinity unit within ourselves. Our mind, body, and soul have to be connected fully, and we have to be able to trust in it and depend in it and feel that this is a sacred space. And I think in a time of need that we're experiencing right now, that's something that's completely gone out of the window. We're trying to figure out what the next step is financially, how to move, relationally, what to do with our extra amount of time, what to do with the culture in the world that it is right now, and how to serve our family and ourselves best. But in doing all of this, we've really disconnected from our own personal experience of mind, body, and soul. And so for me personally, this is something that I've experienced the majority of my life because of my unconscious disconnection, because of everything I was feeling. For so many years, I lived completely disconnected from my own mind, body, and soul because I was surviving. And in order to survive, I had to disconnect in some way, shape, or form so I could move through and continue to live my life. And I think so many of us are experiencing that right now. In order to take the next step forward, we're disconnecting from our own mind, body, and soul's container and moving forward in the next indicated thing. And although we do need to move forward in the next indicated thing, wouldn't it be amazing to feel absolutely overwhelmed with security and a sensibility within our own container? So I want to talk about that today, and more than just talking about that today, I really want to give you guys something that can get you there right now. When it comes to me, when I am in a state of chaos or anxiety or the weight is on my shoulders, it is so important for me to find the time, find the space, and find the energy to reconnect with myself. This isn't just a natural thing for me. It's not something that I wake up and I'm just like, oh, I feel off, I'm going to jump right to do this. No, after years and years of reprogramming, I've been able to use the tools for a new philosophy for life and reprogramming to know when I'm off and choose to move towards the next step of reconnecting. And so for this video today, we're taking things a little different, and I want you to spend the time in this video with me actually reconnecting yourself. If we want to move forward truly, if we want to really experience a sense of peace and security and emotional freedom during this time, we have to do those physical steps that allow us to align ourselves with a wealthy mindset. And so for this video, I'm going to walk you step by step through something that I like to call a movement meditation, and then move on to some centering of the soul. So for me, this is super duper important. It's a meditation, yoga, movement meditations, music, etc. are not things that I ever really put into my life until the last 3 years. I'm somebody whose mind goes 100% of the time, and meditation wasn't anything that even felt possible. But what I've learned in the last several years is it's not about making sure that my mind is still, but it's about reframing my mind to a single thought, and truly more than anything to just reconnecting with the present sense. And sometimes the present sense has thoughts and has feelings, but as long as I'm connected to the emotions that are processing, the waves that I'm experiencing in my body, the feelings that I'm experiencing in my body, and I do it with a state of peace, I can conquer anything. So for this video, we're going to do just that. In order to regain our sense of security and sense of self, I want us to take 10 minutes alone by ourselves in a state of quiet to really reconnect with who we are and what we want from this world, and ultimately how we want to feel. It is through this connecting that we really begin to embrace our mind, body, and soul connection and become so much more aware and present. And in a time of chaos, there's no better tool against your chaos than being present and centered. This is going to be the thing 100% that sets you apart from the rest of the world as far as being able to move forward confidently during this time and being able to have the peace of mind that you desire. So I want you to put yourself, doesn't need to be a dark lit room. You can sit up, you can lay down, whatever is more comfortable to you. But I want you to prepare yourself in a quiet space and get ready to get centered for yourself. Once you've done that, I want you to find a comfortable position. For me, when I meditate, I like to sit up straight unless I'm doing it in the evenings. For you, you can do whichever you wish. But sitting up straight, if that's the position you choose, in a pretzel position, I want you to take the time to close your eyes. And it's okay at this time if your mind is racing and if you have other thoughts going on. But I want you to simply take the energy to go from connecting with the screen that you are watching right now and connecting to the back of your eyelids. As you connect with the back of your eyelids, I want you to see the blackness behind here, pushing out any of the light or any of the sounds that you're hearing around you, and really just be one with the moment of your eyes closed and the blackness of your eyelids. As we recognize this present time and the darkness that we are facing, I want you to take a few breaths with me to center yourself and calm yourself down fully so that you can be completely prepared for this meditation. So let's breathe in together. And as you're breathing in, I want you to breathe in for as long as you can, centering your thoughts and your energy around your lungs filling with air. As you breathe in, I want you to breathe in as long as you can and then hold your breath for as long as you can, feeling your lungs reaching its max capacity and begging you to release. And then I want you to release your lungs, blowing out all of the air that is within. So now that you have a frame of reference onto where you're going to center your thoughts as you're breathing, I want you to do this. We're breathing in as deep as we can, allowing our lungs to fill with air, and visualizing what this looks like inside our body. We're holding our breath, we're feeling our lungs stretch apart and beg us for release. And then we are pushing out, visualizing your lungs release this air and go down to its resting state. Let's do this 2 more times together. Good. Now I also want you to take a second to just center on exactly what was happening in that time. Not only were your lungs filling with air, but your chest was also rising. As your chest was rising, your shoulder blades were reaching up to your ears, and as you were holding your breath, your back becomes tight, your chest becomes pushed forward, and as you were releasing your air, your shoulders drop and your chest comes to its normal state. As we're beginning this meditation, I want you to continue to breathe in your normal state now, focusing on all of the things that are taking place within your breath. Your lungs feeling, your chest rising, your shoulders tensing, and everything being pushed out. And this time, if your mind wanders to something else, that's totally okay. We don't need to tell our mind to shut up. We don't need to tell our mind to focus. We simply need to move our mind's eye back to our breath, everything that is taking place within the breathing. As our eyes are closed, we are free to imagine, to visualize everything that is taking place within our body's system as we breathe. As we focus our thoughts on the breath itself, we are pulled away from the chaos and the distance of our mind. Now that we have come to a meditative state where we're in optimal time for learning, we can begin to take this a step further and allow the tension of our body to release as our mind begins to expand in exploratory methods. So at this time, I want you to drop your head so that your chin is towards your chest, and I want you to feel the stretch that takes place along your neck. As you're doing this stretch, I want you to keep your minds focused on what is happening in your top of your spine as this happens. Do you feel the stretch at the very top of your head? Do you feel the stretch more towards the back? Or do you not carry tension here and this is not a struggle at all? I want you to move your head to the left and really, without bringing your hands up, push your neck to the left as much as you can without hurt. And I want you to feel exactly what you're experiencing here. Do you feel the stretch in your shoulder? Is the stretch at the top of your shoulder blade? Are you still feeling it in your neck? And I want you to gently roll your head down and around till you are feeling it in the right side. Feeling the stretch from the bottom of your ear to the top of your shoulder blade. Feeling the stretch along your neck and your back and your shoulder blades. Keeping your mind's eye focused on what your body is experiencing and visualizing something inside of you at this time. Now I want us to repeat this exercise, very simple, slight movements, but as we repeat this exercise, I want you to listen to my voice as our mind expands into something of another plane, keeping your thoughts focused on the stretches in your body, but also keeping your mind focused on the words coming out of my mouth. Dropping our head down once again, rising our shoulders to our ears. I want you to pull into your space an illuminating light in your chest that is beckoning for your wisdom and your touch. Releasing your shoulders, pulling your head, extending your neck back against your back. I want you to visualize this light shining down through your core and up to your neck. This light for you may be gold. This light for you may be filled with all the colors of the rainbow. Moving our heads to our left shoulder, feeling the stretch that we're experiencing. I want you to come to the point where you recognize that this light that beckons inside of you is you. Feeling that stretch in our neck and allowing our head to drop down towards our chest once again. Rocking our head side to side. I want you to listen to the voice within that bright light, pulling from it its needs, its wants, and its desires. Bringing your head to the right side and allowing the shoulder stretch to take place once again. I want you to settle on 3 words that your light is calling to you. Is it peace? Is it healing? Is it love? This time I want you to bring the other parts of your body into mind with this meditation, raising your hands up and placing them on your chest, and focusing on those 3 words: peace, love, security, joy. What are they for you? What does your light beckon? Releasing your hands from your chest, I want you to ball them at each shoulder blade and push out as you open your hands, bringing this message to the world. I want you to clasp your fingers at the front of you and bring them back to your chest, overlapping them and rocking with the thought of your words. Are these words what you want? Are these words what you desire? Or are these words simply the truth for you? Releasing your left hand, I want you to pull it across your body and up to the sky and down your forehead, touching your nose, going over your lips, down to your chin, combing your neck and back to your center. I want you to do the same with your other hand, visualizing you stretching out as you receive your personal desires, as you take them in, and as you experience them for your whole body. I want you to release your hands to the side and wave them out as if you're playing in the water, letting your shoulders drop and your heads fall. I want you to focus on that bright light once again, originating within you, moving down your legs, up your chest, outstretching through your arms and your fingertips, shining out for the world to see, not darkened, not dimmed, but fully living within you, expanding outside of you. As we come to the end of this, I want you to focus your mind on who you are and the magnitude of power that you hold. Keeping your eyes closed for just a few more moments, I want you to follow along with some affirmations. I am strong. I am comfortable. I am beautiful. A little louder. I am strong. I am comfortable. I am beautiful. I am secure. I am present. I am okay. A little louder. I am secure. I am present. I am okay. And it is now time for you to take those 3 words beckoning within your soul. Turn those into affirmations yourself. First repeating them quietly, and then a little louder, and finally opening our eyes and saying them out loud for ourselves. I am. I am. I am. A little louder. I am. I am. I am. And lastly, opening our eyes and connecting with the present reality that we are in. Loud and proud, I am, with a smile across your face. I am. I am. Moving on from this meditation, moving on from this time in connectiveness, I want you to remember the feeling that you had as we slowed down and we experienced what it was like to be present in the moment and connect to our body's version of the story inside our head and to a new version of what we desire to have. You know, I listen to meditations regularly. I do movement meditations regularly. And the one thing that I love about movement meditations is it really allows you to feel yourself. No movement is right or wrong. Sometimes these meditations are 3 minutes before I feel that my body has told its story. Other times they can move on to 30 minutes. Sometimes it is just the tension in my head and neck and shoulders that are released. Other times my arms flow freely. Other times my legs. It is whatever you feel right in the moment. It is all about connecting not only to your mind, but allowing that mind to connect to your body so that the two of you can be unison. As the two of you become unison in a state of peace, it allows your soul to come out and play. It allows this connection to breed healing, to breed the magic, to breed the presentness that we need to achieve our biggest desires. It's not about silencing all the thoughts, and it's not about doing it perfect. It's about staying in the moment and listening to what your body is asking you to do for it. And sometimes that means releasing a hand. Other times that means holding yourself dear. Sometimes that means rolling around. Sometimes that means reaching out. But we don't know this because so often we forget to connect to our bodies. We have 2 central spaces between our mind and our body, and we can forget that they should be in unison, walking together. And when we take the time to do some movement meditation, we take the time to create this pattern in our lives that our body, mind, and soul needs to thrive in unity. So for me, part of becoming mentally wealthy, part of unleashing emotional freedom, is connecting and staying connected to this trinity within inside myself. And one of the simple ways that I do it, especially in a time of chaos and uncertainty, is asking my body to tell the story that my mind is overwhelmed by. And movement meditation is a great way to do that. And there's many different types of doing this, and when it comes for me and I'm listening to these meditations, I honestly typically pause them right in the get-go, because I feel like I have a specific way. I want a little bit of a lesson so that I understand what I'm going for. Then I want a little bit of breathing so I can center myself. Then I want a little bit of visualization and feeling and moving. And then I want to follow up with something really positive that pulls me out of the meditation with a plan of action. And what I've found so often is there's pieces of every single meditation that I like, but everything as a whole doesn't fit me just right. And so I invite you in this time to find what works for you. Perhaps music on in the background is something that's really good for you. Perhaps you need somebody guided telling you your next step or your next thought each moment of the way. Perhaps you need a heavy visualization project where you're walking out in a garden and you're picking up flowers. For me, some of these things can become distracting. For you, it may be exactly what you need. So take some time and experiment with this and get to know yourself a little bit better. You have all the time in the world right now to take 5 minutes a day to get to know what your soul is begging from you. And so take the time, have fun, and remember that whatever you're doing, it's right. There's no wrong way to meditate. There's no wrong way to do this. We get really hopped up in this whole world of we have to do this, this, and this in order to stop our thoughts and become present and become aware. But the reality is there is no right or wrong way. And ultimately, if what we are trying to gain here is the peace of mind that we desire during a time of chaos, this is a perfect exercise to follow. Because it's not only peace of mind that we are desiring. As we become anxiety-stricken, overwhelmed, and depressed, the security within our mind and body and soul goes out the window. And it is really difficult to simply train the mind. And it is really difficult to simply train the body. And it is really difficult to simply train the soul. But when we work in unison with all three, our efforts are released tenfold as we move forward the way that our sacred container is calling us to do so. And the anxiety and the overwhelm begins to fall off our shoulders as we feel safe ourselves, within ourselves. Because ultimately that's what happens. That's the mental torment that takes place when we're experiencing anything. Is that we become so disconnected to our own container that we can't trust ourselves, that we can't move forward in ourselves, that we don't enjoy or love ourselves. And in order to release this, in order to move through this, we have to first connect to it and become once again in unison with our mind, body, and soul. When we are doing the work to feel secure in our mind, body, and soul, we will be amazed at how much easier it is to have patience with our children, how much easier it is to let go of the worry of financial stress, how much easier it is to move forward with our passions and adventures, and how much more comfortable we feel in the world regardless of the situation that we are experiencing because of our own comfortability and connection within ourselves. So play around, enjoy this. I believe this is the first meditation that I've done live for you guys in a sense. If you've purchased some of my videos or some of my courses, you've had several that come with meditations that are just audio. But I think that this is a time in the world where it's not the time to be shy, it's not the time to feel weird, it's not the time to hold back. And as I thought about the next step of the Chaos Course Correction, I really thought, we are just feeling so disconnected and insecure within our own bodies. And rather than going live and telling my following, hey, do a meditation, I'm going to walk one with you right here together. And so if you liked this, please let me know. For me, it's a little awkward being on camera, but having my eyes closed, but being in a small space and trying to do things that take up a little bit of larger space. But I'm here for you guys. And so if this is something that you liked, if this is something that you enjoyed, if this is something that you need more of, or it would be less distracting for you to just have the meditations that are vocal, that's fine too. We can do some of those. But let me know where you guys are at. Where are we at on this journey? How are we holding up through this chaos? And what can I do to serve you best? That's it for this video. Can't wait to hear your thoughts.